Consider this scenario, one that might feel deeply familiar. You arrive home after a long, demanding day. A day filled with meetings, deadlines, and a constant stream of notifications. You finally sit down, ready to relax. You open a streaming service, and a universe of options unfolds before you. An infinite scroll of movies and shows, each one a potential path for your evening. 10 minutes pass, then 20. You browse, you watch trailers, you read descriptions, but you cannot commit. You cannot press play. Eventually, overwhelmed and exhausted, you either default to something you've seen 100 times, or you simply give up. The simple pleasure of choice having transformed into a cognitive burden. What is happening in this moment? Why does a task that requires almost no physical effort feel like lifting a tremendous weight? The answer is not a flaw in your character. It is not laziness, nor is it indecisiveness. The answer lies in a powerful, invisible force that governs much of our daily lives, a phenomenon psychologists call decision fatigue. It is the quiet, gradual erosion of your most precious and limited resource, your mental energy.
To truly understand this, we need to update our perception of willpower and decision-making. We tend to think of them as abstract character traits, but a wealth of research, pioneered by psychologist Roy Baumeister, suggests a different model. Think of your capacity for self-control and rational thought as a physical muscle. Every morning, after a night of rest, this willpower muscle is fresh, strong, and ready for use. But with every single act of self-regulation, every choice you make, that muscle becomes more and more fatigued. Or, for a more modern metaphor, imagine your executive function is a smartphone battery. At the start of the day, it's at 100%, but every decision, no matter how trivial, is like an app running in the background, consuming a small portion of that charge. And here is the crucial, often overlooked detail. Your brain doesn't differentiate much between the energy cost of a big decision and a small one. Choosing your outfit for the day, that's 1% of your battery. Deciding which of 50 new emails to answer first, that's 3%. Navigating traffic and choosing which lane to be in, another 2%. Resisting the urge to check social media, that's an active drain, another 1%. Deciding on the strategic direction for a multi-million-dollar project, that's a huge drain, maybe 20%. But then, chicken or fish for dinner, another 1%. Which brand of toothpaste to buy, another 1%. By the end of the day, hundreds of these micro-transactions have left your mental battery hovering at a critical level. And when it's faced with yet another choice, even one as simple as a movie, your brain does what any smart device does at 1% battery. It shuts down non-essential functions and goes into a state of extreme power saving.
This state of cognitive depletion is what Baumeister termed ego depletion, and its consequences extend far beyond a difficult evening on the couch. When your brain enters this power-saving mode, it fundamentally changes how you operate, often for the worse. The first, most common consequence is decision paralysis, which often manifests as procrastination. When mental energy is low, the easiest way to conserve what's left is to avoid making a choice altogether. Your brain's logic becomes brutally simple. I cannot process this. Let's defer this decision until tomorrow, when the battery is recharged. This is the scientific explanation for why we put off sorting our mail, making that important phone call, or planning the next day's schedule in the evening. The path of least resistance is to make no choice at all. We are not being lazy. Our brain is being ruthlessly efficient in its energy conservation. The second consequence is a sharp turn towards impulsivity and a reliance on shortcuts. When the brain lacks the energy for careful, deliberate analysis, for weighing pros and cons, for considering long-term outcomes, it defaults to the easiest, most immediate answer. It looks for a shortcut. This is the primary reason we buy candy bars at the checkout counter. After an hour of making hundreds of micro-decisions in the grocery store, which apples are better? This brand of yogurt or that? Do I need more olive oil? Your willpower muscle is exhausted. You have no cognitive energy left to resist the simple, pleasurable impulse of a chocolate bar. This explains why we are most likely to break our diets, engage in impulse shopping, or lose our temper at the end of a long, decision-heavy day. Your rational brain is offline, and your impulsive brain has taken the controls.
The third, and perhaps most profound consequence, is a direct reduction in the quality of our decisions. This was famously demonstrated in a study conducted on parole board judges. The study found a startling pattern. Judges were significantly more likely to grant parole to prisoners at the beginning of the day or immediately after a food break. As the day wore on and the judges made more and more decisions, their likelihood of granting parole dropped dramatically, sometimes to near zero. Were the later cases inherently more difficult? No. The judges were simply suffering from decision fatigue. When their mental energy was depleted, they defaulted to the easiest, safest option, denying parole. Making a thoughtful decision to release someone required careful consideration and energy they no longer had. Saying no required no new action. This is a terrifying insight. The same person with the same case could have their freedom determined simply by the time of day their case was heard. It proves that the quality of our thinking is not stable. It is a resource that depletes.
So, if our mental energy is this crucial, this finite, and this vulnerable, how do we protect it? How do we stop wasting it on the trivial and start preserving it for what truly matters? The solution lies not in trying to have more willpower, but in designing a life that requires less of it. This involves 4 powerful strategic principles. The first and most important is to automate and routinize. You must wage a war on unnecessary daily decisions. This is the secret of many of the world's most productive people. Steve Jobs wore his iconic black turtleneck and jeans every day. Mark Zuckerberg wears his gray t-shirt. They weren't making a fashion statement. They were executing a psychological strategy. They understood that by eliminating one simple, recurring decision, what to wear, they were preserving a small amount of mental energy for the thousands of far more important decisions they had to make. Design routines for your own life. Eat the same 1 or 2 healthy breakfasts every day. Prepare your clothes the night before. Have a set schedule for workouts. Create a weekly meal plan. Every single choice you can make once and put on autopilot is a victory. It's a deposit back into your cognitive bank account. The second strategy is front-load your day with important decisions. Your peak state of mental energy, your 100% battery, occurs in the first 2 to 4 hours after you wake up. This is your golden time for high-level cognitive work. You must protect it ferociously. Do not waste this precious window on low-value tasks like checking social media, reading the news, or clearing out trivial emails. This is the time to do what writer Cal Newport calls deep work. Tackle the one or two most complex, most important tasks of your day. Write that difficult chapter. Design that complex strategy. Have that crucial conversation. Leave the shallow, administrative, low-energy tasks for the afternoon, when your cognitive battery is naturally lower. Structure your day to align with your energy, not the other way around. The third strategy is to embrace constraints and limit your options. We live in a culture that celebrates infinite choice as the ultimate freedom, but psychologically, this is a trap. The paradox of choice demonstrates that having too many options doesn't empower us. It paralyzes us and increases our anxiety. You must become the ruthless editor of your own choices. Instead of asking, "What could I possibly have for lunch?" narrow the choice. Am I having the salad or the sandwich today? Instead of, "What project should I start?" select the top 2 most urgent projects and decide only between those 2. When furnishing a room, choose a limited color palette first. By creating artificial constraints, you dramatically reduce the cognitive load of a decision, making it faster, easier, and less draining.
And the fourth strategy is to respect your physical state. Your brain is not a computer floating in a void. It is a biological organ, deeply connected to the state of your body. Low blood sugar, dehydration, and lack of sleep are jet fuel for decision fatigue. The judges in the study weren't just tired, they were likely hungry. Their decision-making ability was restored after a food break. This gives us a simple but profound rule. Never make an important decision when you are tired, hungry, or emotionally overwhelmed. If you are faced with a significant choice late in the evening, the best possible decision is to make no decision at all. Defer it, write it down, and tackle it the next morning. Learning to say, "I will decide on this tomorrow," is one of the most powerful productivity techniques there is. Sleep is not a luxury. It is a non-negotiable cognitive enhancement tool. A short walk, a healthy snack, a glass of water, these are not breaks from your work. They are essential inputs for quality thinking.
Understanding the concept of decision fatigue is a fundamental shift in self-awareness. It allows you to stop blaming yourself for what you perceive as moral failings, laziness, procrastination, a lack of self-control. You begin to see your willpower not as a measure of your character, but as a manageable, depletable resource, just like the money in your bank account. You are not lazy when you can't choose a movie. You are not weak when you buy a chocolate bar after a grueling day. You are simply a human being whose cognitive battery has been drained by the thousands of demands of modern life. By designing routines, by structuring your day wisely, by limiting your choices, and by respecting your body's needs, you are not just becoming more productive. You are engaging in an act of profound self-respect. You are learning to manage your mind's energy, preserving the best, sharpest, most thoughtful version of yourself for the moments, the projects, and the people who truly deserve it.